All right, well, welcome to the advanced workshop. Now, you got the basic skills down in the beginner workshop. Now it's time to really kick it up a level and really get these skills where we need them to be for the next lesson. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get to work. We're also going to look at a simple fingerstyle arrangement of the song Ode to Joy. So if you've got your guitar, let's go ahead and get started. All right, to get us started, let's warm up with another stretching exercise, a different one from the one that we did in the beginner workshop. This one is called a fingertip to fingertip stretch. So what I want you to do is put your guitar down, maybe just on your lap or something, and we're going to put our hands together, fingertips together, with palms apart like this. So you have your fingertips together, but your palms are apart. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in slowly to the last thing to come in is our hands. Also notice that my fingers are, you're not like that. They're spread out like that. Okay, so the last thing to come in is the palm, and then the first thing to go out is the palm as well. So we do this one more time. Okay, so we're at fingertip to fingertip, lots of space in between those fingers. We're going to come together slowly. Don't put too much pressure. You're not trying to break your fingers. We're just trying to stretch them out a little bit. Last thing to come in is our palm. Then come up from the palm until eventually we're out like that. Maybe stretch it out a couple more times. Just kind of go some various directions with it. That one really stretches the muscles that goes on top of your fingers. Now, another variation that you can do of this is on a table or even your guitar. If it's down here, we put our fingers down like that and do the same thing. Fingers spread apart. Last thing to come down is our palm. First thing to come up is our palm until we're back up again with all that. You can even feel how that stretches the muscles on the tops of our hands. Now that our muscles and our hands are nice and loose, let's go ahead and get our guitars ready to play, and we'll get to work. Okay, the first finger pattern we worked on was thumb, 1, 2, 3. We had called it finger pattern number 1. On open strings, it would be thumb, 1, 2, 3, thumb, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's look at the finger pattern number 1 exercises. We've already done the first 3, so let's go ahead and skip down to the 4th one. Now, how this is going to work is we're going to play these exercises through 3 times at a slow, medium, and then at a fast tempo. So we're going to start nice and slow with the metronome at 66 beats per minute. But remember, we are back at 8th notes, so this is the advanced workshop, so we've kicked it up a little bit here. This is a little bit faster than we were at before. So look at finger pattern number 1. This is exercise number 4. The only thing tricky in this, we have an E minor, a D, a C, but this B7 is the 5th string bar chord form. Okay, so don't go to the open B7 there. In the printed materials, notice how the chord block shows that form on it. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, we're going to repeat this. Thumb, 1, 2, 3, thumb, 1. That quarter note is with our first finger. On that E minor. All right, good. Now let's bring it up a little bit. Let's take it up to 76 beats per minute. Speed it up a little bit. We're going to play it again 2 times through. 1, 2, same one, go. Then repeat it back. Good. Now, they don't call it the advanced workshop for nothing. Let's move it up to 92 beats per minute. Do the same thing. Same pattern, we're just going a little bit faster. 2, same thing. 1, 2, ready, go. let's skip to the next one. This is finger pattern 2. And that's the next finger pattern that we have looked at, was finger pattern 2. Now remember, that is thumb 3, 2, 1. So if I was on open strings, back slow again, it would be thumb 3, 2, 1. Thumb 3, 2, 1. So look at finger pattern number 2 exercises. And since we've already done exercises 1 and 2 in the beginning workshop, we're going to go ahead and start with the third one of these. So the third exercise will be review, since we touched on it a little bit in the lesson. This one uses the open A minor and an open D minor chord. So let's get our metronome back down to 66. We're doing eighth notes. Dot, 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 thumb, 3, 2, 1. Okay? Also, you'll notice before we even get started on that, exercise 3 alternates the bass notes between the thumb going from the root note of the chord down to the 5th. So on that A minor, we're on the 5th string A. We're jumping down to the E beneath it. So if I'm on an A minor chord, it's going between the A and the E. On the D minor chord, it's going between the D and the A. All right, now we're ready to start. Finger pattern 2, exercise 3. 1, 2, ready, and play, and. D minor, A in the bass. We're going to play this one again. A minor, E in the bass. Relax that hand. Great. Stay right there. We're going to do this a little bit faster. We're going to go to 76 beats per minute. Same thing again. 2, 1, and 2, and ready, go. Go ahead and repeat it. D minor. All the notes ringing out. Great job. Stay right there. You're doing great. 92 beats per minute. 1, 2, 1, and 2, and ready, go. Repeat it. All right, great job. Now, look at the next one. This one is going to be in 3/4 time, so that means there's only going to be 3 beats per measure in all of these. And this one changes the finger pattern a bit. We're going to go up an arpeggio and back down again. So this is going to be thumb, 1, 2, 3, and then back down, 2, 1. So you're constantly going thumb, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So if I did this one, let's just do this one on the inside strings. So instead of using the 2 outside strings, I'm just going to be on the 4th, or excuse me, the 5th, the 4th, the 3rd, and the 2nd. Now you'll notice that's a little bit tougher since these fingers are closer to each other. Just do that a few times through. Okay, do you have the motion? Let's bring our metronome back down to 66 beats per minute. And we're at finger pattern number 2, exercise 4. Nothing complicated about the chords, just a G, E minor, A minor 7th, and D 7th. But we're going. That's the pattern. Okay, here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. A minor 7th here, D 7th here. We're going to repeat this. Back to G. E minor. minor 7th, D7. Okay, freeze, stay right there. Kick this up to 72 beats per minute, 76 beats per minute. Same thing, and ready, go. Notice how all of these are on the inside strings. We're not hitting that first string until these last two bars. Now we switch to the first string. Repeated. There we switch to the upper strings. Very good. Don't move a muscle. Kick it up a notch to 92. 1, 2, ready, again. One more time. Very good. Great job. All right, for the third finger pattern, remember that one was thumb, 2, 1, 3, thumb, 2, 1, 3. So take a look at the finger pattern number 3 exercises. We've already done the first couple, so we're going to start on the third one. Finger pattern number 3 exercises. This will be number 3. Got a couple of new chord forms in this one. This one uses some more involved, kind of contemporary pop-sounding chords that you're going to see a lot as a fingerstyle guitarist. First one is a D2, which is just like a D, except you take your second finger off. Then we have an A2, which we talked about earlier. That's like an A chord with your pinky off. And then we have an E minor 9th. This one may seem a little bit different for you. It's kind of like the bottom half of a C chord, just scooted up 3 frets. And we get this wonderful dissonance between the F sharp and the G there. Very hip sounding chord. If you want to be a guitar player in any sort of capacity, you need to learn this chord. And then an A7 suspended, just like an A7, we just put our pinky up. So those are the 4 chords we're going to be going through. Also, notice that the E minor 9th and the A sus switches the picking from picking to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings instead of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So we kind of are adjusting between the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then using the top 3 strings. And what makes this progression fit together so nicely are all the common tones that are ringing out between these chords. So, remember in the printed materials, all these, the tab and the chord forms are in there. So if you need to review, you can look at them there. Let's start nice and slow. We're going to start it out at 66 beats per minute and play this one. 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, play. D2, A2, E minor 9th, repeat it. Keep these notes ringing out. Great job. Hold it right there. Scoot that up to 76 beats per minute. Do it again. 2, ready, go. Do it again. This is very much like a progression I would play at the beginning of some song in the studio. One more time. Here's the fast version at 92, 2, 2, 1 and 2 and ready, go. Repeat it. Great job. It's starting to kick up a notch here with the intensity. Now, let's look at the next one. This would be exercise 4. In this one, we have an A2 again. We also have an F sharp minor 11th, kind of a big name, but not that complex of a chord to play. Second finger on the F sharp, and third finger on the E and the A, or excuse me, yeah, E and the A, B and an E. If you want to think about it, it's just an A2 with an F sharp in the bass, an E sus, and a D2. Also, you'll notice a new symbol, one in the chords that has a slash with 2 dots. This is in the actual music line. That is a 1-measure repeat. So you see a slash and it has a dot on either side of it. It just means to repeat the previous measure pattern, whatever you're doing, 1 time through. So instead of writing it all out again, you'll see that sign. It just means repeat the previous measure. Also, this one is a little bit tricky because the picking pattern involves the third finger alternating between the second and first string. So instead of what we have been doing is alternating our thumb, now we're going to alternate our higher note. So these two, the higher strings are alternating. All right, take a look at this one. Let's back it right back down to 66. All right, take a look at this. Finger pattern 3, exercise 4. Listen before we get started. Here, get that alternating pattern down, just on an A2. Get used to how that flows. All right, here we go. Let's start it. Finger pattern 3, exercise 4, 2, and ready, go. Just repeat that measure. F sharp minor 11th. Again, keeps repeating those, alternating those notes. E sus. D2. Repeat it. Good, freeze right there, 76 beats per minute. 1, 2, same thing, and go. Hold right there, 92 beats per minute. 1, 2, ready, go. Great job. All right, now let's put these new skills to work in the song Ode to Joy from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Now, we're going to play this 3 times through, actually, over the course of the next couple of sessions. So here's the first version. This is a basic version of the song. It's going to have a melody line and then a bass line, but they're both moving together, so it should be not all that stressful to play for you. I'm going to play it through just one time just to kind of get it in your ear, and then we'll talk about the different things involved with it. right, well, that's how it goes. Let's talk, you should be already familiar with the melody, very common melody. Let me talk about what's happening there. I'm playing these with thumb and two mostly, as I'm playing all of these double notes. So it starts out with a C form, up the scale. So you'll notice I've got melody notes switching and I've got thumb notes, my bass notes switching. Thumb and two through all of this. This is a little bit different here because I'm holding one, and then I'm going to hit my melody note with the second finger. So there they started to move differently. And then the second line is almost an exact repeat of the first line. Goes to the A minor. Here's our alternating movement again. I hit the second finger on that C, and then both of them together. All right, so the first two lines are pretty self-explanatory. When we get to the third line, let me talk you through some of this. You'll notice the G note, even though it is in the same measure as all of these other things, in guitar music, a lot of times they'll write it like that to give the player the concept that they want certain notes to hold out while others are moving. So you'll notice the G is a big hold note. So I want to not just play that G, I want to hold on to that G. So that takes a little bit of finger control to be able to hold on to that G while the other lines move underneath it. So we hit the G, and then the thumb and the second finger go about their business again. Now you'll notice on top of the chords in the printed materials, I've put the chord blocks on there. Not that you're playing exactly out of the form, but that's the form that you're kind of basing your movements out of. So like with that last three chords, we have an A minor. I'm in an A minor shape there. D with an F sharp in the bass. That's basically that shape. I'm going to a G, that shape. Then the last line is like the first two. It spins out of it a little bit differently here. So now while this is a longer song, look at that. The second and the fourth line are exactly the same. And most of the second line is a repeat of the first line. So really once you learn about 6 bars of this song, you've got the entire song. All right. I'll leave you to work on that in your own time to work out the fingerings and things for that. So great job on an advanced workshop. I know we've kicked it up quite a bit in this workshop, but I want you to have fun working it up and playing this song for someone. That's a big key as well, working up these performance aspects of your playing. When you can play this song at about 80 beats per minute, steadily with control, then I think you're ready to move on. Now, if you really want to go the extra mile, try to work it up at playing at about 100 beats per minute. So keep up the great work. You're learning a lot, and I'll see you in the next session.